Hey. Hello, my name is Selena.
And my name's Theoni, and you are listening to Piping Hot.
We're back! I actually miss doing the podcast.
So did I.
It felt so weird not to get ready and record and research and do all that stuff. It just felt so weird.
I know, because now we're in the routine of doing it, and so not doing it felt so weird. I was like, wow, I feel like I need to be talking to Selena right now as things were happening. I was like, oh my gosh, crazy, man.
I was seeing things happening, and I was like, oh, that's something I could talk about. But I'm like, wait, we're not recording for a really long time.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, literally nuts, but happy to be back, and with such a fun episode. Selena and I have not talked about Doctor Strange at all, so our reactions are going to be especially out of the blue, but
and super fresh, right? We literally just saw it opening weekend.
So how has your last couple of weeks been, buddy?
It's been super good. I got married.
Woo!
I know.
I'm literally so excited. She has a legit husband.
I have a husband. What?
Oh my gosh. How was it?
It was so good. It was so good. I'm happy we did it the way that we did it. I don't know. I feel like I'm very much an introvert when it comes to those things. So I was very happy and pleased with how it turned out. I was gonna say too, it's funny because I obviously told my siblings oh yeah, I'm married, and I sent them the pictures that I got. And it's funny because I reference Jack as their brother-in-law now, which is so weird.
Oh, that is so weird, but it is that's his title now, bro.
I know, right?
Wow.
Right? Yeah, it's not Selena's fiance or Selena's boyfriend anymore. No, that's your brother-in-law.
Wow. Were they did you just call him that? Were they that's nuts?
Yeah, they were laughing because I kind of said it in a joking way, and then they were laughing because it's still really weird, and I feel me and Jack have been dating for so long that it's always been Selena's boyfriend, Selena's fiance. So it's just kind of surreal that their brother-in-law's not, it's weird. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine the adjustment, but that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Aww.
There is one story that I want to tell. I have literally a bajillion stories, but I figured that this one was good for the podcast.
Great. I want to hear them all, but yes, very excited to hear this one.
Yeah. So our flight to South Africa was 30 hours, which is very long. Yes. Very, very long.
Absolutely not.
I know. So we get there, and the lodge is so gorgeous. They give us lunch. They're pampering us, and we're just so excited to finally be there and be off a freaking plane. And so after dinner, we walk back to our room, and it's already kind of sprinkling, which is fine. Thankfully, it wasn't going to rain for the wedding day. So I was like, it's fine. Let it rain now, so then it doesn't rain the next day.
100%.
So we get back to the room, and I'm I'm going to shower because I want all of this icky 30-hour airplane stuff off my body. So I go and shower, and it's still raining, and I can hear it. It's raining a little harder now, and I can hear it while I'm showering. Me personally, I love the sound of rain and thunder. It's so soothing to me. So I was just I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm getting clean. I'm relaxed, it's all good. I turn off the faucet, and I kind of just start drying myself, and I'm like, I can hear the rain a little too well. So I walk around the corner to the sinks where the sinks are, and the roof is leaking. And I'm
Shut up.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, oh my gosh, and there are puddles on the floor, and the counter is wet, and I'm like, holy crap, and so I called Jack. I was like, hey Jack, the roof is leaking. We should call them to tell them that it's leaking. So we do that. But in the main bedroom area, I can still hear it. And I'm like, what the hell? So there's like this little tiny hallway behind the bed, like behind the bed frame and whatever. I walk behind it and it is leaking all on our suitcases, on every single thing that we brought to South Africa. It is raining harder inside than it was in the bathroom. And it's so like my suitcase had like a puddle of water in it because it was open. And it was all wet, so I like start dragging it to a dry spot. Thankfully, our suit and my dress, they didn't get wet.
Thank God. I was like holding my breath. I was like, please, what happened to the dress? Like, what happened to the veil? Like, what happened? Like
I had my dress hung up on the other side of the room, and then his suit was hung on the coat rack on the other side of the room, and miraculously, that part of the roof was not leaking. And I was just like, holy crap. Like, what are the odds? What are the odds?
And this was the night before your wedding.
Yes.
You're trying to zen out. Like, right? It's holy. I cannot imagine. So did you guys have to switch rooms? Like, what?
No. So thankfully it like stopped. So like it was a super like hard rain for like 10 minutes, like a huge downpour. And then it like passed, and then it was sprinkling again. But then they brought towels to like dry everything because the room was like a little slanted. It slanted enough that the water kind of like ran down. So they brought towels and they like cleaned that up for us.
Wait, but was there like a solid roof, or because it's South Africa, did they have like was there a little outdoor thing, or like?
No, it was a solid roof.
So it really was just that broken of a ceiling.
Yeah.
I would have probably flipped. Like,
yeah. Same.
Were you able to like stay calm? Like, or
yes.
were you just like, good for you?
The reason why I was able to stay calm is because my wedding dress was dry. If it wasn't, that would have been a different story.
It's not funny at all. Thank God. Thank God.
Right?
Honestly. Holy crap.
Yeah. So that was the first night. But anyways, that was just the story I wanted to tell. Everything went fine after that, okay?
Good. Okay, good. I mean, I feel like in that situation, like you have this magnificent trip, something has to go wrong. You know, something, there has to be a little bump in the road. Glad it wasn't on the wedding day. Glad your dress was okay, you know?
Yeah.
But holy crap. Holy crap.
I know.
Oh.
But it was super fun. And that's pretty much my life update. What about you?
Not a lot. Well, I texted you this, but for those of you listening, because I know you really care, I passed my licensing exam. Yes! Which is really exciting because now I literally just have to work for like a little more than a year and a half, and then I'm officially licensed. So I'm just so glad that I passed the first time because I would not have mentally handled another round of it. I passed by like 4 points, but who cares? A pass is a pass.
Yes. Holy crap.
Yeah,
I passed my driver's test by like a couple points too. Like, it's fine.
I live on the edge, man. What can I say? But other than that, I've just been finishing up the semester, but honestly, it's just stressful, but also I'm pretty much done at this point. I have my last exam on Tuesday, but other than that, I'm done. But I've been reading so much. I need to just tell you how much I've finished, okay?
Wait, yes. What the heck, Theoni? Okay. Why did you text me about this?
Because you were on your honeymoon.
You're right.
Okay, so I finished the entire ACOTAR series.
No,
I'm
you didn't.
Officially done. Yes, I did. I finished
Did you read?
book.
What the? And I didn't get any reactions. I feel betrayed. You could have interrupted my honeymoon to tell me.
I will send you voice memos I have saved, okay? I promise.
I feel betrayed.
No, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bother you. You were living your magical life. Like, I couldn't, like I'm
that
so sorry.
That series is more magical than my wedding, okay?
Okay, I will send you all of the voice memos I have, okay? Okay, I promise. I'm so sorry.
I am shook, Theoni. I am so shook. Like,
I feel like an asshole now. I'm so sorry.
I need to take a deep breath.
I didn't. I'm so sorry.
I can't believe, you know why? Because Silver Flames literally took me weeks to finish. And you're already done.
Know how many days it took me?
I want to say 2.
2.5, yeah.
Yes, it was close. Yeah, well, she's a thick boy. She's pretty thick.
She is so thick, but once I started, I could not stop. Have you read the Azrael bonus chapter, though?
No, I fucking haven't.
I need to send. Do you have it? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what edition I have on my bookshelf, but I do have some sort of bonus thing in the back of mine. But
okay, I need to send it to you because you will be so mad after it. Like I'm telling you, like.
Oh my gosh. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm still processing. I'm sorry. Still, sidebar.
Yes.
Sorry. Who is your favorite Bat Boy?
Bat Boy?
Yeah, that's what they call the
I
trio.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love them all. I feel like I need an Azrael book to decide if he's my favorite because I feel like I don't know enough. I'm a little impartial to Reese still, but I also loved Cassian. He is a little kinky boy. Like when he said Nesta, grab the headboard, I was like, oh
no, when he said that, I screamed.
Literally screamed.
And you know what? You know what made me mad too? Is that Sarah cut the scene right there.
Yes. I know. I was like, are we going to get the rest of this?
Yes.
Like,
I was like, you can't just end the sex scene with that line and then not give it to me. Like,
I know. I know. Okay. I will say I loved like seeing how Nesta healed throughout trauma throughout the book. But I will say I was so mad at her. I'm like, you're ready to die for this man. And then you're going to ignore him? Honey boo boo. Like what?
No.
I can't stand Elaine. I'm sorry. Yeah. She needs to grow some balls ASAP because she has no personality. Like, congratulations on your flowers, but like, I need something else from you.
No one likes Elaine, but you know what my theory is I feel like she's going to turn evil. And a lot of people think that too.
I've heard evil Elaine is like a thing.
I don't know. There's something going on with her. Because, like, she's always, like, a little, like, ditzy and, like, oh, I'm innocent. Like, you know more than you're, like, telling.
There's
like,
gotta be more.
Yes. Like, don't play dumb. And everyone wants Elaine to be with Az. And I'm like, if she steps any foot close to Az, I am rioting.
Read the bonus chapter, okay?
Okay, I will.
Okay. But can I just say, I need Gwen and Azrael to be together so much.
I love Gwen so much.
Especially after we find out that Azrael's the one who saved Gwen. I was like, okay, y'all need to be together. I need it.
I know. Also, I loved, like, Nessa's little friend group. I'm so happy she had that.
Oh my gosh, her, Gwen, and why can't I think of the other name? Emery.
Yes.
Yes, I love the friend group. I want Emery and Moore to be together.
me too. Yes.
Would they be perfect?
They'd be amazing.
Everyone can have their pair, and Elaine can be with Lucian, or Elaine can be with whoever. She can just live in a field. I literally don't care.
I do not care.
Everyone else had character development but her.
I know.
Girlfriend.
I will say, I think you are a Reese girl.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I am. I just love him so much.
I don't know. I feel I'm an Az girl. I love Azrael.
Really? Okay, I can see that for you though, because he's more like introverted and like mysterious, you know?
I know.
And I feel
you know, Sarah, the author, she confirmed that he's like even more kinky. Like he's the kinkiest out of all three of them. And I was like, Sarah, please, you need to give me a novel.
Why aren't we getting another book yet in the ACOTAR series?
Yeah. I think it's because she's doing her other series, which the second book came out. But I am so ready for the next one for ACOTAR. Like, I need it already. Yeah,
I need it too. Oh my gosh.
Okay, question for you. Are you going to read her other stuff?
I want to, but it's such a big commitment. I've been hesitant to start it because I know the next one I need to read is Throne of Glass. And like, I just can't. It's 8 books and they're all so big that I'm just like, I don't know. I'm probably going to end up getting through it this summer, but I'm just like, I needed a little break from the fantasy, I think. Let me just tell you what I've read in the past couple weeks.
Okay.
So I went to Barnes & Noble. While you were gone, I bought these books.
Oh my God. Okay, wait, show me. What did you get?
I got It Happened One Summer.
Theoni. I went to Barnes & Noble today and I got that same book.
You have to read it. It's based off of like Alexis and Mutt from Schitt's Creek.
I've heard it's Schitt's Creek.
But then I found out they had a sequel, so I ordered it from Amazon and got it the next day, called Hook, Line, and Sinker. You need to buy this.
Yes, I have heard that one because that one just recently came out.
Mm-hmm. And they're both fantastic. I read them both. But that's not all I read. I'm telling you, I went crazy. So then I also read Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey.
Okay.
It's really, really good. And I found out it's one of those that's like in 3 parts because there's a group of like 3 friends. And so each book like is based on a different couple. But I got the 3rd book, but not the second one. So I'm going to wait for the second one to come in, read the second one, and then that.
Nice, okay.
And then I got another book called The Roughest Draft.
Ooh.
So I don't know, but I got so many books, dude.
I love it. I love it.
And I just started because Emily Henry came out with a new book called Book Lovers.
Shut up. I bought it today. And I was going to show you because I was so excited.
Did you get it from Target though?
I didn't. I got it from Barnes & Noble. Does Target have a special version?
Yes, and it has bonus content, and I got mine from Target. So wherever the bonus content is, I'll like send you pictures so you can read it. I already started it. Selena, you will be obsessed with the main character. Like, she's gonna resonate with you so much. Guaranteed.
I'm so excited. I saw that in Barnes & Noble's today, and I was like, oh, I have to tell Theoni because we loved Beach Read by Emily Henry. I saw like non-spoilerly. What am I talking about? I saw non-spoiler reviews of it on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I should definitely read that. And so I got it. So I'm super, super excited.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Other than that, I don't have any other updates. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna be thinking about not sending you voice memos in the moment probably for the next week and a half because I feel really guilty about Nesta's book. But I'm gonna send you all the ones that I saved so you can listen to them. Okay, mostly it's just me giggling, but like,
we're not going to take any more time on the podcast because I could literally talk about ACOTAR
it's been 20
for
minutes.
hours. I know. I could talk about it for hours. Oops. So I will FaceTime you. I will just talk to you about
Let's talk later this week and we can discuss more. Do you have any pop culture moments?
I was going to ask you what tea you were drinking.
Oh, we can do that first. I'm drinking stress relief because I had a really bad day at work.
Yeah.
And I texted Selena before we recorded. I was like, can we please push it off? Because legit, I don't know if I want to like cry, scream, or like hysterically laugh.
Yeah.
Because I was just like so high strung. So I'm drinking stress relief and hopefully it makes me less stressed. What are you drinking?
So I went to Target today. I did not buy Book Lovers from Target, but I still went to Target. I got a new tea. I got what's called Beach Benelini by Tivana. And it's like a pineapple mango. And I'm drinking it like an iced tea, not hot. Because today was like such a gorgeous day in Minnesota, and I was just like vibing with the summer, and I was like, I need something like very cool for like the podcast, so that is what I'm drinking.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. Pop culture moments. Number 1, we're getting 2 Wicked movies instead of 1.
Oh my god, I saw that and I was like, that's crazy.
What I was gonna say is I'm actually happy about it because I would rather have them do 2 movies and do it like justice than like do 1 movie and like cut a bunch of stuff out and not have it be good. But I also feel like they could have just done like a 3-hour movie and had it been like a long movie. But I'm gonna be annoyed if we have to wait a really long time between movies. But I feel like it won't be more than a year. but I don't know.
I don't think so, because they're going to film it all at once. And if I'm thinking of like Mockingjay, like Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, and then I'm thinking of like Breaking Dawn for Twilight 1 and 2, it was only like a year, I think. So, I mean, not bad. I was very surprised when I saw that, but I understand because that show has so much meat to it. You can't skip anything and be like, oh, like we can keep going. Like everything is so important.
Exactly. And I feel like after the movie musicals that have come out recently that like did not do well at all, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to make this one that much better. And so I think it kind of makes sense that they're like trying to do everything they can to make this like top tier.
Yes, I agree. Because it's wicked. Like
exactly. The biggest musical of all, I mean, one of the biggest of all time. So, okay, my next thing. A new Jack Harlow album came out this week. And, okay, I saw this TikTok where it was this guy and he was like, girls who love Jack Harlow. And it like played a like 1 second clip of his song. And then they're like, oh my God, I love it. And it was like them posting an Instagram story about it. And I was like, okay, fair. But also I listened to the whole album before I made any decisions. And I will say it's really, really good. And you need to listen to his song, Blades of Glass or Blades of Grass. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's really good. And it's like very spicy. And I'm just like, ooh. And I need someone to do a mashup of that song and Wild Thoughts by Rihanna because they would be like perfect together.
Ooh, yeah, no, I saw you post that on your Instagram story. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that came out. But I also was gone and MIA for quite a while. But
the other big thing, which I'm debating if I should even bring it up so we can cut this out because I feel like there's too much to even say about it, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial.
Yep, I had that on my list too. We don't have to go in depth, but I will say that it's all over my For You page on TikTok.
Yep.
Like I'm on that side. Like,
yep, me 100%. Yeah. I'm not going to share too many of my thoughts because I feel like if I can't talk in depth about it, whatever I say is not going to come across correctly. Yeah. Because I feel like the thing is so complex. But I will say, I feel like the conversations and like the TikToks being made about it could be kind of unhealthy in a way. It's not being handled very well, even by the media. I feel like... Yeah, I'm just not even going to go there. But
back when I was in college for my undergrad, I obviously do advertising for my day job. But we talked about how media influences these really high profile cases. I don't even remember what class it was. But like we talked about like the O.J. Simpson case, you know, like how that was so mainstream and how media has such a huge impact on not just like, you know, brands and like everything that you see on commercials or whatever. It's like literally like these high profile cases and also like the election too. Like it's crazy just how much influence it has.
100%. I agree with you. I think people in the media are really quick to jump to conclusions about things. I mean, I know my thoughts about it and I know who I think is fabricating things and who's not, but it's really hard to watch from a lot of angles, honestly.
But definitely.
What else do you have on your list?
I have a lot, but that's because I'm like trying to play catch up. Like,
yes, let's hear it.
Okay, 1. The Thor Love and Thunder trailer dropped about like 2-ish weeks ago. I'm actually excited for it. It looks good. I am intrigued to see what Thor's next chapter is, you know?
Yes, I'm very excited to see it as well because I've always loved Thor. I have beef against Natalie Portman for no reason other than her face. I don't know. Like
everyone has beef with Natalie Portman.
I don't know what it is about her, but I can't. Yeah. She's like up there for me with like Josh Groban and Nicolas Cage. Like there's no reason that I dislike them. I just don't like them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A little annoyed by that because I also don't think Jane and Thor have any chemistry whatsoever. No. But I think it'll be a really good movie and I really like the characters. So really excited for it.
Let's talk about the Met Gala.
Oh, yes. Some people crushed the theme, did so good.
Yeah.
Some people forgot there was a theme and wore the whatever the heck they wanted. I was like, you're going to go to the Met Gala and wear like these, like, no. The thing was gilded glamour. Like, that is a fantastic theme. You didn't even try, girl. Anyways, what did you think?
Well, I was still in South Africa when it happened, and I was like, oh my God, the Met Gala, you know, because of COVID, it's been kind of like weird and stuff. So I was super excited to see it like in full swing again. I thought it was great. I did not know the theme. So I was just like scrolling through the pictures. I was like, oh, okay. Like, cool. Who was your like favorite like dress or like best dress or whatever?
I'm trying to think because I know I probably missed quite a few of the looks.
I did.
But
too. Yeah.
I am always obsessed with Blake Lively's look. I just think she always does the themes so well. And I watched an interview of her explaining like the different pieces of her dress and how they like related to New York and like why they fit the theme. And she just put a lot of thought into it. So I really liked that. Do I even want to go here? There's so many things where I'm like, I could talk about this for 10 years. Kim Kardashian's dress.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that she did Marilyn Monroe's dress. And I thought she like took a lot of care of wearing the dress. And did it justice. I thought it was really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
But I didn't love how she brought up how she lost weight to fit into the dress.
Yeah.
I think in Hollywood, it's not uncommon for people to lose weight for a role or lose weight for an event. But, and how Kim Kardashian did it wasn't even necessarily so unhealthy or wild that it was bad. It wasn't bad. I think the way that she brought it up and talked about it could be very triggering for a lot of people who have eating disorders and things like that. And so I think just knowing her influence, I think she should have brought it up with a little bit more care and concern behind it. But she looked great.
I know, she did look great. And you know what? When I saw that, it reminded me of the discourse that was happening, I think about a year ago, of basically how, like, I think Chloe, there was like a Photoshop picture of her on her Instagram and people were like ripping on her or something like that. And she took it down and she was just saying like how society puts like high standards on like whatever, you know, your look and editing and stuff. And a lot of people during that time were talking about this discourse of like, well, look at your family. You guys set a lot of that standard. Like, you guys are the face of like a lot of things, especially in fashion. And so like when I saw that like Kim had to lose 16 pounds to fit into the dress, I'm like, this is another piece of evidence. Like, you guys are setting, you guys need to understand that you guys are setting the standard, you know? That's what everyone looks to. And it's just unfortunate. Like, I just...
No, 100%. And I think some people are like, you guys look a certain way and how dare you for setting a standard. I don't think people should attack them for how they look or the decisions they make or with like plastic surgery or anything like that. That's on them to make that decision, right?
Yes.
But if they're going to do that, I feel like because they have the influence you're talking about, they need to be much more careful about how they bring it up and the message that they're sending out to the public. Because I think it's really unfortunate that they don't talk about that more.
No, they do not. They don't. No. My favorite. So obviously Blake Lively, I feel like she is just the queen of the Met Gala. Like, you know, I'm sad that Zendaya wasn't there.
Oh, she would have crushed it.
I know, she would have literally crushed it. But after Blake, I would say she got a little bit of backlash, but I actually really liked it. I loved Vanessa Hudgens' outfit.
I didn't see her.
Oh, it is spicy.
Let me look it up.
It is like definitely like my style.
Ooh. All right, let's see. Oh, damn. She's like naked under there.
Yeah.
But she looks fantastic.
I know.
Oh, I'm obsessed. Wait, why were people upset?
Because it didn't follow the theme or whatever. Like, she was like too far outside. But I saw a video on TikTok of saying how she's blending in a lot of today's style with like the whatever era they were doing.
There were some that were way more far off than that.
Yeah.
I think because of her jewelry, it made it kind of fit the thing. Not everyone's going to wear a corset, guys. Relax.
I know. Yeah. Like, calm down.
Yo.
Another thing at the Met Gala. Did you see that Olivia and Sabrina talked?
Yes. But I don't know what they talked about.
Me neither. I don't think anyone knows. And I am so intrigued.
I know. I feel like they're both nice people. And so I feel like it was very pleasant, but they probably really didn't talk that much.
No, yeah.
I really don't think it was as big of a deal. But like, of course, we're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was like, oh, how are you? Like, good to see you. Like, so glad we can move past that. And then, yeah.
And then bye. Yeah. No, definitely. I was just excited because the drama still lives on, okay?
I know. I hope they all made up so Sabrina and Josh can finally release that song.
Yes, you're right. One last thing about the Met Gala.
Yes.
Have you seen Emma Chamberlain's interview for Vogue and all?
Yes.
Have you seen the Jack Harlow one?
When she's like, when he goes, bye, I love you. And
I love
she's
you.
like, love you. And then
And
she
she, like-
makes that face. She was all of us in that moment. I would have died. Like,
She is so hilarious. I love her so much.
she's so funny and so real. And then her interview with
Yes.
Shawn Mendes was also really funny.
I saw that one too. I saw that one
When she was like, what are you wearing? And he was like, well, tell me about this. I was
Yeah.
like, like I would have died. If Shawn Mendes ever asked me about my outfit, I would have been like, like I wouldn't have been able to speak.
I saw in the TikTok comments of the video. I saw someone comment like, Camila's like punching the air right now. Like, just so angry because like Sean is talking to Emma.
TikTok comments run the world. Like, they are
Yeah.
funnier than the TikToks most of the time. Like, they're
yes.
so funny.
100%. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are engaged.
Baby, cheating rumors, engagement. Whoa. Go off, I guess. Congrats.
What is happening? Yeah. I was so confused when I saw that. I mean, I'm super happy for them, but I'm like, wait a second.
It just seems like there's been so many different things about them lately that it feels
Yeah.
like it's moving so fast when in reality it probably makes a lot more sense. And I guess if there really wasn't any truth or gravity to the cheating rumors, then I feel like they probably were moving towards the engagement anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, I wish them all the love and happiness ever in the world.
Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, since you're listening, Selena
Yeah.
and Theoni are wishing you well.
Yeah. Please invite us to the wedding.
I would, oh my God. Yeah. Okay. A dream.
Another thing, Coachella. Lizzo came out for Harry's set.
Yes.
I love that.
Didn't we talk about Coachella already? We already
Yes,
talked
we
about
did, but we talked about Shania Twain coming out for Harry's. Yeah.
But I love that they sang I Will Survive. Like, I feel like that's
Yes.
such a perfect song for them.
Yeah.
Honestly. Oh.
And then Haley Williams also came out for Billy's set and they sang Misery Business. I
Which
was like,
apparently, I'm not a huge Paramore fan, but apparently Haley performing Misery Business after all of that time was like huge.
yes, because she technically retired that song and so she no longer plays it at concerts. But for this,
Wow.
she came out and she sang it with Billy and I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and they sounded so good. And you
I
could tell
know.
Billy was just like having like a moment where she's like, I can't believe like this is my life. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Oh,
I love Haley Williams. I feel like she's like
Her
literally
voice
amazing.
is insane.
So good. The last thing, sorry.
Yes. Don't apologize. I love this.
Because we're talking about Marvel, I finished Hawkeye and I actually really liked it.
Oh, I loved Hawkeye.
People like shit on it. So I went in with really low expectations saying like, because everyone was saying really bad things. So I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it just in case something is referenced in Doctor Strange and I want to understand. So I watched it. I was like, oh, it's really bad though. I watched it and it was so good.
I loved Hawkeye. I thought it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
I don't know why people were ripping on it though.
I don't know why either. You know what I finished now that we're bringing up Marvel? I finished Moon Knight.
I was going to bring that up too. I am 4 episodes in, but the last 2 came out already. So I have to catch up.
Moon Knight's crazy.
It's so good. I am so impressed.
Oscar Isaac deserves every single award ever created.
I love him.
He is insane. The fact that he switches from like Steven to Mark so fast is insane. You have to text me when you finish episode 6.
Okay, I will. Yeah, no, that one has been so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
That's all that I have for pop culture.
Oh my gosh. 40 minutes in, baby. Let's move on to Dr. Strange. What the okay. So, Dr. Strange is nuts.
Dr. Strange. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. The entire episode.
God dang it.
Also, if you haven't seen the movie, don't listen to this episode because there's so many spoilers.
So many spoilers.
Definitely go watch the movie and then come back and listen to this episode.
Okay, I need your general thoughts first because that'll change how I act the rest of the conversation.
Oh, okay. Overall thoughts. This was a fast fucking movie. Mm-hmm. I felt like the pace was so crazy fast, which I don't mind. I was just very surprised. It reminded me of Infinity War because Infinity War was fast too. And so when we started the movie, I was like, oh my God, like it's running, like we're going. I thought it was fine. I think in the lineup of sequels, this one is one of the better ones, but it's not my favorite. Why? What about you?
I didn't like it at all.
Shut up.
I was so disappointed.
Shut up. No way.
I thought, number 1, it should have been way longer.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, I thought it was such a missed opportunity. I have so many more thoughts that we can go into. And I'm not saying this because I know a lot of people were hyped about the cameos and things like that. And like, yes, we did not get nearly as many as people thought, which was a bummer, but like whatever. Even just with the main characters like America Chavez, Doctor Strange, and Wanda, I just thought there wasn't enough available. Like, number 1, we get into it and all of a sudden Wanda's evil. And I'm like, okay, after the ending of WandaVision, that doesn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden America Chavez is like one of the biggest deals in the Marvel world, but we didn't get any background on her. And I was like, how am I supposed to care about her when I don't know anything about her? I was like, we've gotten all these Marvel shows, but we didn't get one about her. That made no sense to me. I was like, I felt like I didn't have any background. Okay, I'm going to go on one of my rants again, so I better relax. But like, there should have been so much more.
No, that definitely makes sense. I will say, and I will die on a hill for this, that I still think Wanda's character arc is one of the best besides Tony's.
I think so too.
So coming into this movie, you had to watch WandaVision. I can't imagine anyone walking into that theater and be like, oh, Wanda has kids? Yeah, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you were fucked. Sorry, excuse my language, but you were literally lost.
No, genuinely, you would have had no idea what's going on.
No, and because too, WandaVision transformed her into Scarlet Witch. And so I guess from my point of view, like I was like fine with her coming in evil, especially after Westview and especially after the end credit scene of WandaVision.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do agree with Steven and Amanda. Steven and America. Steven and America, that there could have been a little more.
We got so little background, we can't even remember a name. God. Okay.
So starting with the opening, I was so confused of them like running through this like time, space, whatever realm. Because I was like, one, I don't know who this chick is. There's this kid, this random kid. And then I also for some reason knew that wasn't our Doctor Strange. Like I knew for some reason that wasn't the one that we've seen in Infinity War and Endgame. I was like, something is just kind of off about him that I know that it's not our Doctor Strange. I don't know. I was just like kind of confused of like what they were doing. And maybe that was the purpose of that opening scene, to just be confused about it, because then we see Steven wake up and he's confused too. So I'm like, in a sense, I'm like, okay, I understand, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, because I don't care about these characters that we're watching.
Yeah, I think if we had gotten like a show like we did a lot of other characters about America, maybe it would have made more sense. But because that was her intro to the MCU, it didn't make sense.
Yes. I want to hear your thoughts about this. I thought the whole "Are you happy?" theme in the movie was interesting. And we see this for the first time at Christine's wedding, right? So in the beginning. Personally, it felt a little forced for me as the movie went on. But I want to hear your thoughts.
I thought it was so forced. I thought because there was no resolve to it even by the end of the movie. They were just like at the end, Wong and Doctor Strange were just sitting there and they're like, "Are you happy?" And they're like, "Well," I was like, okay, so are we just going to be miserable forever? Or are we going to learn to be grateful? Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah. I understand. No. You're right. Like, I understand they wanted to obviously like weave in a theme, which like, cool, great. Do you, whatever. I don't care. But it's interesting that they decided to do that for Doctor Strange because it didn't make sense in my mind after Endgame. Obviously, a lot of things changed for him. He was one of the ones who disappeared. But other than that, like we didn't see how that affected him. And we didn't really see that come through in Spider-Man, which was the other movie he was featured in. I understand that like Spider-Man is not his movie. And like, of course, there's no character development for him because it's not his movie. But looking back at Wanda again, Wanda has never had a movie, and look at her character development.
Literally.
Right? You could have dropped something in for Spider-Man to show that Steven was different. So I was just it was like really like disconfigured for me of like watching him at Endgame, then Spider-Man, kind of normal for a Spider-Man, and then his movie, the Multiverse of Madness, and just being like, oh, like, is he happy? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, why are we asking this question right now? It just didn't make sense.
I will say the one thing that might have kind of made a little bit sense with that was if you saw the What If episode on Disney Plus about Doctor Strange and his development with Christine in that and how she kept dying and he couldn't save her and like all of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But What If is the stupidest show ever and it doesn't need to exist. So thank goodness they're making a season 2. Sorry. This entire episode, I'm just going to be a B. So.
No, that's totally fine. No, see, thing is that like I didn't watch What If. So again, it's like I didn't understand that, but also it didn't sound like it like tied in a lot.
Don't waste your life.
It. Okay, good to know. I just want to say, despite having her introduction in this movie and not knowing a lot about her, I do really love America. I love her innocence, and I'm really excited to see her journey in the MCU. Yeah. Also, like, what a horrible power to have that you can't control. My anxiety would be through the roof.
Because you never know what universe you're going to be in.
Yeah. And you can't control it. Like, you don't know when you're going to open up a portal and just, like, disappear. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my God. I could never.
No, I think she's a really cool character. Again, would have loved to get any information about her, but and fantastic actress as well.
Yes.
She played it really well.
Literally like an end credit scene. It could have just been an end credit scene with her in like Spider-Man or Shang-Chi, like literally like
don't get me started about Shang-Chi. I'm sorry. I was going to wait to bring this up and now I have to bring it up. I'm about to go off. Okay. Remember at the end of Shang-Chi when Wong went through the portal and was like, I need you.
Yep.
What was that about? If we didn't get Shang-Chi in the movie, what was the freaking point?
I think
where were you bringing him then?
I think they're I think they're setting up for the next Avengers movie.
Which is going to be Secret Wars, I think,
yes.
Which comes out end of 2024.
Yes.
Which fine.
Yep.
Why are you hyping this up then? Why did you hype this movie up then?
Okay, also though, remember Thanos first appeared in Avengers 2.
Facts.
So there were a lot of movies in between Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and then Infinity War, because then we got Black Panther, we got Doctor Strange, we got Captain Marvel, we got all of those. So like I think they're just setting up for the next big Avengers movie, Secret Wars. It's just annoying because it's like I thought he was going to be a cameo in this movie. And I was expecting to see him, and then he never showed up.
I thought there were going to be a lot of cameos, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
Okay. Also, speaking of Wong, I just love him. Love him so much.
I freaking love Wong. I feel like, wait, who did I see him compared to? Who's like the glue of keeping everyone together? It might be, I think everyone said he's almost like a Nick Fury vibe. Like he kind of always just like shows up. Like he went to get Shang-Chi. He was in Spider-Man, obviously. I would have loved to see Wong interact with Ned from Spider-Man and like America at the end when they're like teaching her how to do. I thought that would have been so cool, but whatever.
I feel like that trio is like so precious, you know? Like they're just so
exactly.
Another random thing, when Stephen, Wong, and America were in the cafe and they talked about Spider-Man and they laughed about the whole web thing. Like, I was like, this is so random, but I'm vibing with it. It's funny.
I know. Like, I loved it too, especially because I feel like that was a little hint of like the last movie and how they don't know it's Peter Parker anymore.
Oh, they don't?
Girl.
Wait,
No Way Home. Everyone forgot about Peter Parker.
No. I took it as
girlfriend.
I took it. No. I took it as because Steven did the spell, he still remembers because he is the caster of the spell. So he still remembers
him. Remember, at the end of No Way Home.
I know, but I thought that he would remember. So, but they, to understand, Spider-Man exists, but no one knows of his identity, even though Steven himself did this spell. Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. But Spider-Man still exists, because he's still, like, swinging and doing whatever. But no one knows it's Peter Parker.
Yes.
That just crushed my dreams. I literally had in my notes, I was like, I'm so happy that, like, Steven remembers him. Fuck that.
Did you? Never mind. I'm going to sound like such a bee, so I'm not even going to say it, but oh my gosh.
Going back to my point of, like, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you were so lost. Because a huge chunk of Wanda's main motive was in this movie because of WandaVision.
100%.
And I just wanted to bring up that, like, there has been so much discourse on social media that the MCU is, like, no longer becoming accessible. It's becoming more and more complicated with all of these shows that, like, you need to watch before jumping in, making it, like, super difficult. Yeah, for newcomers. I was just wondering if you had, like, any thoughts on that.
I don't love that they're doing all the shows. Like, I love the shows.
Yeah.
But I think it's just not fair to people who either can't afford to have subscriptions, don't know how to access subscriptions, don't have time to sit and watch 100 TV shows. Like, it's just not, I don't know. I just think it's a bit excessive and unnecessary.
I know. Same. I have, like, a hate-love relationship with it. Because it's like, I love Loki. Like, I feel like he deserves that show after everything. Like, he has been such a fan favorite from the start. So I'm like, yes, you deserve a show. But it's like when you start getting into, like, the little intricate stuff of, like, oh, this actually affects the main MCU and you need to watch this before even watching this movie or this movie and stuff. I think that's when it starts getting really complicated, really long and confusing.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. Remember, I'm dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
I really thought that Wanda had turned a new leaf when Doctor Strange went to her in the, like, apple orchard or whatever. I knew she was going to be somewhat of a villain because I've, hearing all the stuff on social media, like, I knew she was going to be some sort of a villain. And I was just, like, naive and, like, dumb because I was like, oh, like, she learned her lesson. Like, yay, Wanda. Like, no, I'm just dumb. I'm just so dumb.
No, I don't think you're dumb. I think I wasn't expecting it to take such a quick turn. Like, I knew she was going to be a villain, but I think the fact that her only solution, and even this was what the end of the movie was too, I think the fact that like her only solution was to completely isolate herself, I was like, well, that never ends well for literally anyone. But the fact that she was like masking what she was living in, that was very surprising to me.
I didn't find that surprising because she did that with Westview. So it's I wasn't surprised that Wanda did that. I was just like surprised that like, oh, she's like full on villain. Like she didn't change after Westview.
Yeah,
you know.
Fair.
I will say that when Wanda and Steven were walking down the orchards and talking, and she said America's name, I thought that was a mistake because I heard that this movie had major reshoots, like huge reshoots. So I was like, oh, that's a mistake and they didn't catch, which like looks really bad. But then Wanda was like, I didn't say America's name. And Steven was like, yep. And I was like, oh no.
And that's when the ruse was over.
Yep.
100%.
I love that, by the way, though. It was so like subtle.
I thought so too. I really liked that.
I loved Wanda's emotion when she went to Kamartaj. Is that how you say it, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Kamartaj, yeah.
To grab America and like fight all of the people, whatever. I don't know. I'm just like so in awe of Elizabeth Olsen's acting. Like she does Wanda's trauma and inner turmoil so well.
She's a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
So good.
I will say when she emerged through those reflections, I was like, no, thank you. Goodbye.
Yo, when she was coming out of that gong, I was like, what the heck is happening?
I know. I was like, no, stop. This is, I can't do this.
I know Sam Raimi's films are known to be like very horror-esque, like very different with the way they're filmed. So I was expecting that, but I just felt the horror aspect of it and some of the cinematography was very forced.
I agree. Oh my God, that reminds me of like the fades. Do you remember those editing of the fades? Of the faces and like, I don't know what was happening, but I was like, what the hell am I watching? Like, I was so confused. I was not vibing with it because I was like, this is kind of weird.
Nope. Yeah, no, I didn't like that at all.
When Steven and America finally arrived in like the futuristic version of their world, they approached this like memory thing that they stood on to play their memories. And Steven's was really sad, which again, I really liked because again, it's like I didn't have a tangible thing for his character arc in the last two movies. So when I saw him with like Christine and the watch, I was like, oh, that is really sad. Also, random question, when did he get that watch? Was it in like Doctor Strange 1? Or
It must have been because it was a very obviously big piece of this like entire movie, but I didn't really remember that. But that's my assumption is that it came from the first movie.
Okay, me too. I haven't seen the first one in a while, so I was like, I think that was in the first movie. Then America's memory was so freaking sad. Like trauma central, girly.
Where are they? They're alive somewhere, and I know that's going to come up in the future.
Yes. That was when I started to like sympathize with America because it's like, again, I finally kind of get to know more of her and stuff.
100%.
But that is literally the worst thing that could happen to a child.
I can't even imagine.
So random and tiny, but I loved that she had two moms. Like, it's such a subtle thing, but representation, like, matters so much, and I love seeing that in, like, such a huge Marvel movie, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
I know, but did you see that they banned it in some countries because of that?
I did. Which is bullshit.
It's just, like, you're such a telling small part of the movie, too. Why are you so...
Yes.
Can everyone just take a deep breath?
That we have aliens like Thanos and all of his other henchmen that we saw in Infinity War, yet having two moms or two dads is so otherworldly that we can't do. Like, it's beyond me.
Literally
Anyways.
Same. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Relax.
Let's move on to the Illuminati. I can't believe they called it the Illuminati.
I know.
What the heck?
Like, I know. Well, that's a part of the comics, which, like, I really hope that they come back.
I was just saying that, like, the group is called Illuminati, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like I
of
guess.
all the names.
Yeah,
it
really.
almost seems too real for the MC. Like, you know what I mean?
I know. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. That's why I wasn't really vibing with it. But
number one, the Illuminati could have been the biggest deal ever. They deserve more of an entrance.
Yeah.
First of all, they deserved more time on screen. It deserved to be a bigger part of the movie, but maybe if you didn't cut 40 minutes of the film, we would have gotten more. Captain Carter pisses me the hell off. I think she has such a cocky attitude, and she's like, I could do this all day. And then she literally gets murdered 2 seconds earlier by her shield. That whole scene was so, like, gory. Like,
yeah, it was very gory.
God.
The Agent Carter drama, have you heard about all of that?
No.
Obviously, she was in, like, Captain America, the First Avenger, way back in 2012, okay? And her character was no longer relevant because that was all the way in, like, World War I or II, whatever. And then she had her TV show. And then she was no longer relevant. And she was super fucking pissed about it. And when Emily Van Camp got casted for Civil War, I don't even know what her actress name is. Agent Carter, whoever plays her,
Haley Atwell,
got super, super pissed and started, like, literally, like, bad-mouthing Emily Van Camp, because now Emily Van Camp is the star of, like, the Captain America, you know, like, the love interest or whatever, and she was, like, bad-mouthing Emily Van Camp and trying to, like, insert herself in the MCU. So when I saw What If, when she was featured in What If as, like, Agent Carter or Captain America or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, that was her way of, like, trying to still stay relevant. And then when I saw her in the movie, I was like, yeah, you're still trying to stay relevant, but I don't care for you because, one, you haven't been relevant since the first Captain America movie. And two, I know you're a shitty person. And you were mean to Emily Van Camp. And I love Emily Van Camp.
So do I.
Yeah.
That makes me, I already disliked her. I didn't know that. Now, I dislike her even more.
Yeah. It's been a huge thing that, like, no one really talks about because, like, they're like on the side, on her side. I don't even know. Haley, I think it's like Haley something. I don't remember.
Haley Atwell.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. The rest of the Illuminati.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Didn't really care about Captain Marvel. I love that it was like a Monica Rambeau version of it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea who the one guy with the mouth was, the whispery guy.
Black Colt. I have him. Yep.
Had we even
Black
heard
Bolt.
of him?
No, but he's in the comics, but I don't know him. So I was like, oh, cool.
So that was like his intro.
Yep.
And then we had Mordo, which, okay. And then we had Professor X, which I was so excited to see him. But again, now I'm going to go on a rant. I'm sorry. I can't hold back anymore.
Go.
So you're going to have Professor X, built him up in the trailer like we all knew it was coming. His entrance was so not enough what I was like waiting for.
I know.
And then you're not going to bring in any other mutants. No other of the X-Men.
You're telling me that Professor X exists in this universe, but none of the mutants are around? What? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
And here's my huge gripe with the entire movie, okay?
Yeah.
It's called Multiverse of Madness. What was that mad about it? That you stayed in two, like, universes pretty much the entire movie. Even if we didn't get the cameos, why didn't you explore all the different multiverses more? Like, especially when they showed that scene of them, like, getting dragged through all the different ones. And then we got a snippet of the animated version where I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to get Miles Morales? Like, are we going to get all of this? And then we got nothing. And I was like, cool beans.
So when that happened, I think in my mind, that was another setup thing that they were trying to do. So again, I don't understand why, if it is called, like, the Multiverse of Madness, maybe it's just because they were, like, jumping through and, like, Wanda was, like, chasing them. I don't know. But again, I think that's just, like, a way of them trying to set up and have easy access points to be like, hey, like, yeah, maybe Miles is real. And, like, here is a little, like, evidence for it. In a way, yes, I understand what they're doing, but also, like, you guys could have done more, you know?
100%. And I just hope that because this movie was lacking, I hope that when they have Secret Wars or the next like big superhero movie, that they bring in all these people we want. Like bring back in Shang-Chi, bring back in all of like the X-Men, because now they're officially in the MCU. So I really hope that you bring in more characters from that.
Well,
I'm glad that their introduction was Professor X and the OG version of him. Yeah. Sir, what's his name? Sir Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Patrick.
I love him, by the way, too.
I love him too.
Love him. Yeah. But also, too, going back to that is like Spider-Man. You know that these others, the Toby and the Andrew versions of Spider-Man exist. So it's like, I understand why you were disappointed in this and seeing like Professor X, but then none of the mutants. But also, a part of me thinks like, are they planning for a bigger entrance for the mutants? In which case, I'm fine with it then.
Yes. But if we don't get that, I'm going to be even more pissed than I am right now.
Did you see those like behind the scene pictures of like Sophie Turner and James McAvoy? McAvoy, yeah.
No.
They were the behind the scene pictures for Doctor Strange. But I think, again, all those reshoots, they just cut it out. Because I don't know what they're planning. I think that was rumors. I feel like I saw pictures. But yeah, anyways.
I just hope that they don't miss the opportunity in the future. That's all I'll say about that. But then when I tell you, I screamed in the theater when John Krasinski came out. I was like, shut up, because I've been seeing all these fan casting of everyone wanting him as Mr. Fantastic and then having Emily Blunt as Susan Storm, and I was like, holy shit.
I know.
I was so happy
when I saw him come on screen, because it was panning over, right? You could see all the superheroes, whatever, and he kind of like popped in or whatever. I said out loud in the theater, holy shit, what the fuck? Out loud in the theater, like
I was just like, everyone went wild for it. I think that was the biggest reaction that my theater had, was to John Krasinski.
I saw that if they didn't have Professor X in the trailer, he would have gotten a bigger reaction, but he didn't, because he was in the trailer, which is why John Krasinski got a bigger reaction, which is fine.
And I wish that they almost, because there was like so many less cameos than we thought there were gonna be, I wish they had kept all of them a secret, or almost done none at all. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish they pulled a Spider-Man.
So mid. Yes, exactly.
They should have pulled a Spider-Man, because to be honest, I would have been fine. Because the thing is too, you already have the hook in the movie title, Multiverse of Madness. You know that we're going to be jumping through and seeing different people that we know from previous movies. I feel like they would have been fine without Professor X in the trailer and then have the big reveal. But
yeah.
Whatever.
Again, so many missed opportunities for what I think could have been a huge movie.
Yeah.
I just think it was too short.
Well, how long is the runtime?
2 hours.
Ooh,
and they cut 40
short.
minutes.
That's a short movie.
40 minutes last minute. It is.
Wait, last minute they cut 40 minutes?
Yes. And they said it just kept getting shorter and shorter, and they didn't want to distract from the whatever. And I was like, you should have made it 2 hours and 40 minutes. Because even if you're not going to do more cameos, even if you're not going to do that much more, we could have at least gotten more America background. We could have gotten more development from Steven. We could have gotten more Wong. We could have gotten more time with like the cameos you did have in the Illuminati and gotten more background on what that was.
Like more exposition. That's what we needed. And if you already cut 40 minutes and you're at 2 hours, honey, that's short for a Marvel movie. Like,
literally,
that is
so
short.
Yes, why are you cutting it down so much?
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
There's got to be a good reason in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I will say, I was getting pissed that the Illuminati wasn't taking Wanda seriously. Like, as a threat. Seriously.
Yes, I know.
I was like... They were like, oh, don't worry. We can handle her. I was like, I'm sorry. Have you met her? I don't think so. Like, you need to like humble yourself.
Literally. And I think this movie, because of their attitude and the way she killed all of them within like 30 seconds, I think it established her as like the most powerful Avenger by far. Yeah.
She went up against like Captain their Captain Marvel as well as their Captain America. But also, too, you need to understand that we're not talking about Wanda from Age of Ultron. We're talking about Wanda who has the Darkhold. Like, but we're not even different.
But we're not even talking about Wanda. We're talking about the Scarlet Witch.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I swear, this movie has like the most gruesome death in all of the MCU with Black 100%. Bolt. My jaw dropped when Wanda was like, "What mouth?" And then blew his head. Like,
yes! I was like, that did not just happen. And then his face with no mouth, I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so gross. And then his head just...
Yes.
I guess.
I was like, oh, she's not playing. She's not playing. Like, she is very serious right now. Which, again, it's such a different, like, Marvel movie. Like, especially with that whole entire scene. Like, it's so gruesome that, like, I would have never expected Marvel to, like, go that route.
I know. And, like, I just think to myself, like, I think it's fun probably for the studio and the directors and things like that to try something new. But Marvel movies are Marvel movies. Like, there's a reason people love them. I don't feel like these are the films you should be experimenting on. Like, make them how you know how to make them because we love them. Yeah. Like, just... Okay.
When they were trying to get to the book of Vishanti in the tunnels and Wanda was chasing them, I literally shit my pants, Theoni. You know I don't do horror or thriller, okay?
I know.
And I was like, no. Why are we doing... No.
Like, that's what I mean, Selena. I literally was like, is this a girl from The Ring right now dragging her leg with the blood on? What are you doing? Like, this is not... We didn't ask for this. She didn't need to be dragging her leg going... Like, what? She's not a zombie, for God's sake. Like, what are you doing?
We'll talk about zombies later, but I agree.
So many things. Many things. Okay.
Basically, they get to the book of Vishanti and, like, Wanda destroys it and blah, 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 all that. After that point, the movie slowed down for me. It slowed down because, not because, like, there wasn't anything interesting happening. Like, I was still intrigued. Personally, I just thought it fell flat for me. Like, there was so much stuff happening beforehand that after that point... I was like, it wasn't interesting. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, like, Steven and Christine go to the other universe and blah, blah. Like, we see that other Dark Strange with the Darkhold. I don't know. It, like, just fell flat for me. I was like, oh, okay.
And there was also, now that you're saying that, there's that one part where, sorry if I'm jumping ahead a bit, but when Doctor Strange meets, like, Dark Doctor Strange, there was a part in the trailer that got cut out of the movie. The one where he's like, hello, Steven. Or is that what he says? Something like that. I forget what he says, but that was such an iconic moment of the trailer, and then they just cut it out. I was like, what?
I remember because everyone was super excited about that moment.
Yeah.
I just want to know what happened in the last couple of months of production and editing and revisions and all of that. Like, I just want to know.
I just hope that really, like, the decisions they made, maybe the marketing came off wrong because of all the last minute changes, but I just really hope there's a reason for them in the future. That's all I'm holding on to right now.
The thing is, too, is that, like, I have hope because MCU has delivered. Marvel has delivered before in the past. So, like, as much as I am, like, about this movie, I am still hopeful that it sets up for something at least, you know?
Me too. I feel the same way because I think about other superhero movies that really fell flat. Like, I think of, in particular, Thor 2. That movie was awful and made no sense.
Horrible.
But then look at what happened after. Like, Thor Ragnarok is, like, up there for me. And, like, look at what it led to. So it's like, this isn't, just because it fell flat for me doesn't mean I don't love the characters, you know?
Exactly. And also, too, Thor 2 had an Infinity Stone, right? And then that all led up to the Infinity War. So it's like, as bad as it may be, it's still important, and I trust the process that it'll lead to something.
I think it's just the marketing that makes me mad because I think objectively the movie still I didn't love, but could have been a good stepping stone. I just don't think they should have titled it Multiverse of Madness if it's not going to be like the peak of the multiverse. Yeah. Because there's so much more of the multiverse coming. I think they just marketed it wrong. And so it was not at all what people expected.
Because it was just the beginning of the multiverse, right?
Exactly.
And I think people were understanding it as like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get all of the multiverses in this movie because it's like the madness of it all. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. Okay, so when Doctor Strange possessed his corpse, I was like,
what? Okay, that's when I was like, I'm done with this movie. I literally I was in between my friend Katie and Kira, and I literally like turned to them. I was like, what the heck am I watching? Like, I literally said that to him. I was like, of all the things, now he's going to possess a corpse. And then these evil, I looked at them and I was like, that's what I imagine a cereal to look like.
You're right.
And I was like, why are there cereals in Doctor Strange? And why are they like attacking all of a sudden? Also, I'm sorry. Now, okay. Christine is so freaking useless. Like, make her a badass or something. Like,
I know.
She literally sat there while he's getting attacked by these demons, and she's like, let me throw this thing at him. Let me shoot him with fire. I was like, girl, please.
Okay, so she had her moment.
But I love her still.
I love her more than Jane Foster.
20 times. I also am obsessed with Rachel McAdams, and she can do no wrong in my eyes. So
I know. I love her so much.
She's like the most endearing person.
I will say I thought it was like pretty funny because I didn't see it. It was like out of left field, and I was like, okay. But then I was like, okay. Like, it was just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. And again, it's just like very, very, very different for a Marvel movie. So I was like, okay, I guess. Like, I don't know. The other thing is that I always forget that Doctor Strange is in league with Wanda. Like, he's a wizard too, like Wanda, and he can do all the things that she can do. But for some reason in my head, it just like doesn't register. So when he was using the Darkhold just like she was, I was like, oh, yeah, you can do that. Like, I don't know why. I just like forgot.
Do you mean in line as in like just as powerful, or like they know about, or they kind of are reaching for the same things, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like their abilities. They can do the same thing. They can both use the Darkhold.
Yep. I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah.
But I think it was also cool to see the dynamic in this movie between the two of them, and then seeing how, because of Wanda's like position, how she can use it in a more powerful way compared to him.
Exactly. My heart melted when the corpse Steven, finally got to America.
I'm sorry. What the heck is this movie?
I know. When he finally got to America on that like circular table, whatever.
And, the human sacrifice table?
Yeah.
That's what
that table with all the symbols. My heart melted when America was like, I know what you have to do. Like, you're going to take my power. And Doctor Strange was like, no, I'm not. Like, you've been in control of it all along. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's all she needed. Like, this kid. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, because obviously the other Doctor Strange that she knew began to take her power, and she was just like, this is done. Like, this is over for me. Like, I've been through so many different Doctor Stranges. This one is finally going to take my power. And Steven didn't. And I was like, oh my God, that's like all America needed, really.
Well, what I love about them moving into this next phase is that the characters that we're used to are still going to be a part of it, but they're bringing in these new characters. Like, I think about Doctor Strange is almost like America and Peter Parker's mentors in a lot of way, obviously, since Iron Man's not around for Spider-Man. And then I think about Hawkeye for Kate Bishop. I think of Black Widow for Yelena. I think of the new She-Hulk movie coming out. So I just think that's really cool that they're like weaving it in that way.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting too is that they are introducing such a young cast. If you look at Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he just graduated high school. If you look at America, she's like 15, 16. If you look at Miss Marvel, I think she's in middle school, beginning high school. Kate Bishop is in college. Yelena, I think, is kind of like in her mid-20s, maybe older 20s. But like, these people are so young. So I'm like so intrigued. Because if you look, like, Iron Man was older. Captain America was freaking frozen and woke up, so he's technically old, right?
Yeah.
And like Thor as well. Like, it wasn't such a such an older cast and older characters, which is fine, but like I'm so intrigued what they're gonna do with this like younger group of superheroes.
I agree, and I think it's honestly good though, because I think as they're trying to build it like they did like the OG 10 years.
Yep.
And so you think about, by the time all of this new stuff comes to a peak, they're going to have really grown into the roles, which I think is maybe why they did it younger. Yeah. So like they're appealing to the OG fans by like having the older people like mentor them, but then they're appealing to the new audience by bringing in younger people. So I think it's like a good balance, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I love it.
Me too. I mean, even too like Spider-Man's arc too. Like I love like we're watching him like come out of like his shit show that unfortunately happened, but you know, it's like we're watching that and I love it so much. So I definitely think that Marvel did a good move starting everyone really young.
This is really random because we're talking about Spider-Man, but did you see my girl, the love of my life, Dakota Johnson? She's gonna be Madam Web.
I did see that. I love that so much.
I'm so excited. And apparently, I think, is it the villain in that movie? I don't know what character exactly it is because I'm not familiar with that story, but Sydney Sweeney, I think, might have been cast or is rumored to be cast as working alongside, which,
yes,
that's going to be such a good movie. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's a Sony movie though, right?
Is it?
I don't know because I don't know if it's
maybe it is.
Disney. Yeah, I think it might be a Venom, like because I think I don't know. You never know because spoiler alert: Venom showed up at the end of Spider-Man in Disney, so it's like I mean, it's everything is like possible at this point, you know. At this point, right? Okay, cute moment between Steven and America. Love it.
Yes, great love.
But I wished America's character arc was a bit more tangible. Like. All she needed was a pep talk from Steven, and then she could magically control it? Like,
yeah,
I was
that made
like,
no sense.
At least give me, like, practice or some explanation or more focus on her struggle to control it, to see her progress, and then...
Exactly.
And then, like, complete her arc at the climax of the movie. But that didn't happen. So I was like, wait a second. All you needed was a pep talk from Steven, and you can magically just, like, punch, and you have your portal.
Exactly. That's another reason why it could have been longer to include, like you said, I really like what you said about having like a practice scene. Like, I think that could have been really, really cool.
It literally could have just been a practice of like, get us out of here. And she's like trying to practice and like nothing happens. But all she did was like, I can't do it.
Okay.
I know, right? My favorite part of the climax was when America made the biggest power move ever and transported them to Wanda's house, to the other Wanda's house, and just like entered in the house as Scarlet Witch with her boys. Oh my God, I actually really, really loved it because it showed Wanda the logistics of her plan and how it would never work. Like maybe she could possess that universe's Wanda through dreamwalking, which we've seen her do before, but like ultimately it would never worked. And I love that America did that because it's like, here, I'll show you that they're still scared of you, which I will say was very heartbreaking for me to watch.
It was really hard to watch, but those kinds of moments are what I wanted throughout the whole movie because that came to a peak perfectly.
Yes.
And I thought it was perfect for Wanda's or Scarlet Witch's or whatever you want to call her, like her arc. And I think that will be very important for her moving forward.
Speaking of Scarlet Witch, I don't think she's dead.
She's not dead.
You're telling me that she destroyed the Darkhold and now she's just magically dead?
I'm sorry, if the Scarlet Witch is powerful, you think a couple of boulders is going to take her down? Please. And that's why I think we saw that flash of red light.
Yep.
Also, here brings up one of my questions. I have an entire list of questions that I'm going to go through when we're done with this plot because we're basically at the end.
Yeah.
Where the heck is White Vision? I thought for sure White Vision was going to be in this because he flew off at the end of WandaVision, right? To go look for something. Where's White Vision? I guarantee whenever we see Wanda next, I really, really hope that it's like White Vision comes back and saves Scarlet Witch.
You're right, because he's in WandaVision.
Where is he?
WandaVision happened in our universe, which now we know is called 616. So he's in that world unless he like jumped dimensions, but I doubt it.
I doubt it either, but he has to come back somewhere. There's no way he just flew off into non-existence.
What if he's like held hostage? Because remember, like those, I don't know who they were. No, they weren't Hydra. No, were they S.H.I.E.L.D.? No, I don't know who they were. But in WandaVision, they that was their whole goal, to like get Vision and stuff. So maybe White Vision is held hostage, which is why we haven't seen him and why Wanda hasn't found him. Because again, like, Wanda, you're powerful enough to find him.
Yeah, so there's got to be something there. I haven't forgotten about it, and I want to know where he is. I really hope they bring that back eventually.
Wait, question. Does Wanda even know White Vision exists, though? Because White Vision only fought Vision. And Wanda was too busy with Agatha.
Maybe?
I don't remember.
I think she does.
Okay. I don't remember, but I'll have to watch the episode again, but I don't know. So cute that America is training as like a sorcerer. I'm like so excited.
Love that.
And it was so funny when like she was like struggling and kind of complaining, and Wong was like, reminds me of like some other student that I know. Like, of course, Steven, because Steven was like a smart ass when he was trying to learn too.
I know, right?
I'm so excited to see her in the MCU. I just wish we had a little more character development in this movie, but
agreed.
I'm just, at this point, I'm just like trusting the process, and I'm like, whatever.
Yep.
The end of the movie ends with the reveal that Doctor Strange has the third eye. Can you please explain this to me? Because I was going to ask. That means.
I have no idea. That's another thing I don't understand. Like,
so the evil Doctor Strange had it because he had the Darkhold. But remember, Wanda destroyed all of the Darkholds in every universe. But I thought the third eye was associated with the Darkhold. So I'm confused why he still has it.
I'm confused why he still has it too. But I'm wondering, I don't think that's our Doctor Strange.
Really?
I think there might have been some switch. Maybe. I'm theorizing.
Oh my God, no.
I feel like it might not be. I feel like somehow it's a different, I don't know how that would work or anything. And I have no other information or anything to back up that theory. But why would our Doctor Strange have the third eye? Even his demeanor was different in that end credit scene. And maybe it was a Doctor Strange from another universe. How do we know that was our Doctor Strange?
No, you're right.
I don't know.
Because I'm trying to remember his outfit. It was the same, right? With the ending of the movie, but then the post-credit scene or whatever. Was he wearing the same outfit? I don't remember. Because then that would.
I think so, maybe. Oh, it's a containment vessel for the Time Stone.
The third eye?
I think so. In the comics, among its powers is a truth-revealing light, which would come in handy when those pesky Skrulls show up in the MCU's upcoming secret invasion. Okay, so the third eye isn't inherently evil, even though we saw it first on evil Doctor Strange. Okay, yeah, so it houses the Time Stone. Basically, what this Distractify article is saying is that basically the third eye just means that he's become way more powerful than he's been before, and a lot of fans are now thinking that maybe he's a bad guy, which wouldn't really make sense for his arc, but I feel like there's going to be more about that, obviously.
Yeah.
And on top of the third eye, the girl Charlize Theron's character, did you read up on who she is?
I did.
That's Dormammu's daughter.
Yeah, which is crazy because I thought we were done with him from the first movie, the first
So
Doctor
did
Strange
I.
movie, because that was the main boss that Doctor Strange fought. But then now I'm thinking about it, maybe Dormammu did let Doctor Strange go because he held Dormammu in an endless loop, and Dormammu was like, okay, I'm over this, you can go. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm so excited though. Her name is Clea Strange, or at least Clea Strange, because they eventually like get together,
Get married in the comics.
Yeah, so I'm so excited, and I'm interested to see like what role she plays, and also like what Doctor Strange 3 will be.
Again, it's these little nuggets where it's like, I'm so annoyed, I want to know more, but they're building it up. So just trust the process once again.
Well, it was so fast that I was like, what the hell just happened? It was so quick, that like post-credit scene. I was like, what the? okay, cool. Like
So
you're walking through a portal. Cool. I don't even know who you are. And that was it. Which, again, I'm fine with, but whatever.
Should we talk about the second end credit scene that I waited 10 minutes for?
Yes.
I know that was for Sam Raimi or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give, that was such a missed opportunity. Again, I didn't care. And he's like, it's done. I'm like, yeah I know. Bye. Like, our theater was silent walking out of the theater because we were all like, what the heck?
Oh, really?
Like, it was so awkward. You could tell we were all disappointed.
Oh, yeah. No, my theater laughed at that, but I saw that as like a poke to one of the post-credit scenes that Captain America did, I think, for the first Spider-Man, where he walks out and he's like, you know this is done and blah, 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 blah. Like just being like really cheeky. I saw that as like a parallel to Captain America's like same post-credit scene. But I will say I was disappointed because I was like, I need more. Like you guys need to give me more stuff for the future of the MCU.
100%. And I feel like it's so early on in the new like rebuilding of this next phase that I was like, I like those. But again, when Captain America did that for Spider-Man, there was already so much stuff that we didn't necessarily need more.
Exactly.
But again, since there was so much cut from the movie and so much more we wanted from the movie, I was hoping the end credits would really like
nail what? They probably like changed that too. The end
I'm sure they
credits
did.
because of how much crap they cut. They probably had to change it. They were like, oh, what if this was funny or whatever? I don't know. Anyways, any other, do you have your questions?
Yes, I have quite a few things to say. Let me see what I haven't said already, because I think I said a lot. Okay. My first thing that I'm curious about moving forward, which again, trusting the process, but I'm curious if we'll get more of the Illuminati, because in that universe, they're all dead, but are there multiple Illuminatis, or is the Illuminati one of those things there's only one in the entire multiverse? I'm a bit confused.
Kind of like the Avengers, right? We now know that the Avengers only exist in 616 because Toby and Andrew's Spider-Man did not know what that was. I had the same thought too, because I was like, you guys know that you guys just killed a whole other like Avenger type cast with all of these amazing actors and actresses. So I'm wondering if like they'll do a Fantastic Four movie, but place it in whatever universe that was.
That was one of my other questions. I'm like, okay, so either the Illuminati is one of many in the multiverses, or the Illuminati is one in the entire multiverse, and the Fantastic Four movie that will have John Krasinski is going to be either set prior to this, or they're going to be in a different universe. I have no idea how they're going to tie that in.
Yeah. I think it'll be prior, kind of like Black Widow. Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, and I just want to know more about how the Illuminati fits in, because I think, I could be wrong, but I feel like my dad was telling me that the Illuminati is a big part of the comics. Yeah. So I'm curious how they'll bring that back now that she slaughtered them all. Like, I'm just curious. The other thing I wanted to bring up that I'm curious if you have any thoughts about is just the connection between WandaVision and Loki and then this movie, because we know that at the end of Loki, he who remains, before he dies, says, I can't see past this point in time. And that was when Wanda became Scarlet Witch, right?
Yep.
And that's when all the timelines split. But then he dies. So how did that then connect to this movie? I don't really understand the connection totally. I was reading and it says killing he who remains is what caused the multiverse. But that doesn't make sense to me, because I thought it was Wanda who created the multiverse when she declared herself, or like became Scarlet Witch. So, and the timeline split before he died. So that's just a little muddy to me. Like, I'm confused how they're all connected. And I know Kevin Feige came out and said something about how Loki directly influenced this movie, but it doesn't make sense. And this is a quote that Kevin Feige said. He said, "There's always a method to the madness, even in the multiverse," Feige promised. For the Marvel.com fans that know that Loki and Sylvie did something at the end of that series that sort of allowed all of this to be possible. He who remains is gone, and that allowed a spell to go wrong in Spider-Man No Way Home, which leads to the entire multiverse going quite mad in this Doctor Strange movie. So even that I was a bit confused by, to be honest.
It's interesting you bring it up because that's what we talked about while waiting for the post-credit scene in the theaters. If you remember, Loki ends up in a different universe. He's not in the same universe. So we're like, okay, we know that the multiverse exists. The thing is that I think the ending of WandaVision doesn't affect what Loki and Sylvie did. I think that was speculation from fans because it does line up really great, and it's such a coincidence that it does. And I think in a way it's a turning point for both storylines, but I think I would have to agree with Kevin Feige of that, like, I think what Sylvie did truly caused the multiverse to happen, and I don't think Wanda had anything to do with it. I think what Wanda had to do was just her true identity, that she's now the Scarlet Witch, which potentially affects all the different multiverses. Okay. I think that's just my interpretation of it.
Okay. That makes more sense when you explain it like that, but I'm still not totally sold. And again, I know we've said this 100 times and whoever's listening is probably so sick of this, but I need to trust the process because I need to see how the TVA plays into everything else. Although I did hear a theory that the TVA is in the quantum realm from Ant-Man because time doesn't exist there, right? So again, a lot of these things could come up and I just really hope they do.
Yeah, so much speculation, and again, it's like eventually we'll get answers, but like right now there are so many different puzzle pieces and we're like, how does this even fit together at this point, you know?
Literally. So let's hope. I don't have anything else to say to the movie. I think I love the characters. I wish they had done it differently, made it a bit longer so we could have gotten more backstory. It wasn't bad. It was a little bad, but it wasn't good. Definitely pretty low on my list, but I hope it's a stepping stone. That's where I'll leave my thoughts.
Yeah. The only reason why it's on my better list of sequels is because of Wanda. I love Wanda. And even though she was evil in this movie, I will ride or die with her.
Like, fair enough. No, like, I love her.
Yeah, I love her so much. So like that's the reason why it's better, in my opinion. It's better than Iron Man 2 and Thor 2, but not as good as Captain America the Winter Soldier because I am a hoe for Bucky. So
I know you are. You're a Bucky girl. You are a Bucky girl.
Can't deny it. All right, so that is a wrap on our Doctor Strange episode. So if you have any thoughts, please let us know. But next week, Theoni and I will be talking about our favorite artists, and we'll be talking about our favorite album from them and our favorite song. So tune in and see if you can guess who our favorites are.
I feel like mine might be a little obvious, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. Maybe I feel like we might have some in common.
Yes, I think one for sure. It's going to be just like New Girl from the TV show. Yeah. I already know.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Please, like Selena said, let us know if you have thoughts. I love Marvel theories. So if you have any, please let us know. And we will see you next week.
Bye.